said something to him on the lines of, well, Chad, because you are not black, you would not understand why I communicate the way I do.
Hey guys, it's Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. Hey guys, I'm here reporting to you on the Chad and Michelle relationship issues. Now guys, I've been following this thing on OWN TV. I've not been watching the actual series, but I've been following the clips, okay? And one thing I picked up from this was that, Michelle, you ain't ready, darling.
We are ready.
And it's not about marriage. You just ain't ready.
You seriously think we're ready to
Oh
get married?
my gosh, we are ready.
I'm not talking about want to.
You see, if you're like this now, I can only imagine going to be worse when you're in a relationship.
How have you all been communicating this week?
Communication this week has been good until last night.
I know she was recovering from depression. I know that obviously she's also had some issues, personal issues as well, leading up to this. I just don't think that this is the right time for Michelle.
She just got out of the hospital.
In fact, I don't think it's even the right time for the show to be going on for them. But let me just get into the video. I want to talk about some key issues that I picked up from 3 of the different videos that I watched. Number 1, let's talk about the biggest thing that they're talking about, race.
And I don't think you should ever go there with black and white.
Now, Michelle has already stated that she goes for the jugular when she, you know, gets into arguments and debates. She's just like her mother. And they always say, listen, bro. They always say, bro, look at somebody's mother, because the way that they are gonna be is the way that the mother is.
I don't consider my mother at any point verbally abusive, but could she read you your rights? She sure could. Even sometimes when we're joking, you know, she'll say something, I'd be like, dang, I get that from you, you know.
As Michelle correctly identified, that's the way her mother was, very cut and cold. Here's the thing, if you're cut and cold and you do that to somebody who is not as cut and cold from the same cloth, you're going to drive that person away. And this is what we're seeing the divide. We're seeing the divide because one aspect, Michelle is very cut dry when it comes to certain things. And as a man, with our ego, with our setup and makeup, we can only take so much, okay?
You know, hearing Michelle apologize, I know she means it. I just am kind of reluctant at this point. I don't want to hear another apology. I want this to stop.
I always believe that females are even stronger than males because what they can take and endure is different from males. So what we got first of all is a Michelle issue of her cutting. Pa, 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 pa. Very strict, very down the line. And what you have to understand is words, they don't just cut. The Bible talks about words being poison. They're like poison. So when people hear words, it doesn't automatically kill them, but eventually down the line it will. So you saying certain things, I remember watching the video, she said
well, Chad, because you are not black, you would not understand.
You have to understand, if you're saying somebody's not black and they won't understand certain things, why are you in a relationship with them? You knew they were white from the moment you saw them. But let me just say something, Chad and that beard and the way he talks and the way his mannerisms are, he got some black in him. He won't call a Bayesian or something. You know what I mean? But jokes aside, on a realist thing, if you know he can't understand that, because something like race, especially in USA, is huge. And to understand race, I definitely will agree that white people often will not understand the full concept of what it is to be black. Just like a man will never understand how it is to be a woman. We'll never understand the disadvantages that you guys truly have. But you have to understand, if race is going to be something that you're going to use a weapon against him, you're not in the right relationship. Honestly, you should not be using race as an issue to bring a divide and conquer. It's just going to cause you more problems. And so for me, what I've seen in that relationship is that Michelle particularly isn't ready for this relationship. I get the sense, and this is not me being a bias, but I get the sense that Chad is there. He's ready to love.
Something I need from her is to not, every time we hit a bump in the road, to say, I'm out. I mean, she's still got...
But the woman that he's loving is not ready to feel the love that you're giving. In fact, she's not ready to receive the love that you're going to give. And maybe that's because of the pain that she's had. Maybe that's because she doesn't think that she deserves the love that you're giving. And maybe because you're too damn nice.
Because I didn't want to be with Chad, not because I don't want to get married, but I feel like, am I really good enough? I'm looking at this ring, and am I really worthy enough to wear it? I don't know.
And when I say too damn nice, that means in a sense of someone's not used to having somebody take care of them, love them, want them, and never have an issue of, I want something else other than just you. Do you know what I mean? So oftentimes when people are used to bad, it's hard to get used to good. Do you know what I mean? And so that's what I'm seeing from the relationship with Michelle and Chad. And so it's quite interesting that obviously in a debate or argument they had when they're speaking to their therapist, they mentioned about obviously the fact that in the argument the race came up. And he's trying to say to him, listen, I don't want to see the race thing. I want us to come together. Truth of the nature is there is always going to be a divide because you're trying to get someone to understand something that they've never had the experience of being. And so, but if you're using that as a low blow and insult, my friend, your relationship is on a downhill trend. 2, obviously Chad gave her the cabacle.
Yesterday when we had the disagreement, he says, did you take your meds today?
He was angry at the time. This is no excuse for this. But he said, obviously, have you taken your meds today? You know, and so you can see that, listen, relationships are like that. There are times where we cut low. There's times where we're like, you know what? You're going to get one of these, bah! I'm going to give you one of these verbal beratings cuts. It does happen. It just seems that these two, they're not toxic, but they're not, it doesn't seem like it's the right time and season for both of them. In a sense of, like I said, Michelle doesn't feel ready. Do you get what I'm saying? You know, something that we don't talk about often in social circles is depression. It's mental health, sorry. And how it plays a part in relationships and how difficult it is to deal with somebody who is, I don't even like saying mentally ill. I like someone whose mental health is not at the same level as yours.
The depth of this depression. There were things that were very hurtful.
Can you say what was hurtful?
Specifically.
And so what you get is that there is a disparity in how to deal with somebody in that, and because people have different levels of mental health. And so for me, I feel like Chad also is also drowning in the sense of, how do I deal with this? Because regardless of how much you read the Bible, no matter how much time you pray, there is no black and white guide to how to deal with the situation. And I think, you know, even as a Christian, we don't get it right when it comes to mental health. In fact, we're probably far away from getting it right. And so dealing with it in a relationship is very hard because, like I said, there's no blueprint. Your parents probably haven't suffered through that. So it's tough to be able to deal with this thing. And I feel like Michelle is on that journey of overcoming the depression. I just feel, again, back to the same point. Is it the right time for Michelle? I don't know. I don't know. If with Michelle, what she said, you know, she's, you know, Chad is amazing, and it's a great guy. And I think it's tough, again, because, like I said, when you're dealing with somebody who has depression, you need a different level of patience. You need a different level of understanding. And I think it comes through knowledge of what the person's going through. You know, it's hard to be accommodating. It's why the Bible says, do not judge by mere appearances. When you have knowledge of something, you tend to judge it differently. When you're from the outside looking in, you judge it completely differently. And so I think that with their relationship, that it's gonna take, if they want to make this work, Chad has got to find out a bit more about depression and just kind of delve into what it's about, what it means in terms of their relationship, what it means in terms of how she behaves, because then that will give you a bit more understanding in terms of how she's feeling and the way she interacts with you. And that will give you a bit more patience. So for me, I think the relationship is a good relationship, but I just feel like maybe right now is not the timing, and hence why Chad obviously hasn't proposed a date, and I think the date hasn't come because he's not 100% sure.
Me too. At this point, I'm not confident to set a date. I mean, she just got out of the hospital. I need to be able to be in a position where I know
there are things which have not been sorted, and so therefore he's not given a date. You see, men we're very, like, when we want something to happen, we get on it. When we don't want something to happen, we stall. When we're not 100% sure, we stall hard. And we make every excuse in the book not to do something at that particular time because we're stalling for a particular reason. Yes, so I feel like Chad Olsey as well, very, very smart and very intelligent, just realizes that obviously at the moment, as much as Michelle may say she's ready, if you've taken off the ring 3 times...
She just asked how many times.
Oh, 3 times.
3 times.
It's definitely been more than 3.
Like, why is she going to be the one that decides? And it's like, no, what he's saying is I'm stalling. I'm stalling because I'm not 100% sure, and I want to make sure I'm making the right decision. And marriage is something that you can't rush. It's a lifetime deal. And when you finally marry somebody, even when you divorce, you're like tearing yourself away from somebody. It causes so much division, pain, and hurt. So you don't want to get it wrong. You want somebody who you can fight with in the ring, as somebody would say. And so if you can get in a ring and the person doesn't want to get in a ring with you, or they have that type of nature, you're going to find it very difficult in a marriage. Because marriage is not about your happiness. It's not. If you think you're going to be happy, you're going to miss marriage. And you're going to make marriage harder than it really is. So for me, I think Chad is doing a great thing in terms of taking his time, slowing it down. And just kind of giving his wife, his fiancé, the time to really deep what she really wants. Because 3 times is a mad thing. Me, I wouldn't. Yo, B, the first time I probably would have been shot, but he's a greater man than that. Do you get me? Yeah, guys, I mean, you know, let me know your thoughts down below, what you feel. I feel like they could make this work. It just requires a lot of work. So, guys, anyway, listen, Little Black Book, you already know what time it is. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know your feelings and your thoughts down below.